So we are answering the question. 4. Two brothers divided 450 rocks so that the older brother has 100 more rocks than the younger brother. How many rocks did the younger brother get? Well, here it says that both brothers divided 450 rocks. So that tells us the total amount of rocks. So that's going to be 450. Both brothers are going to be sharing that total amount. Great. Okay, so it says that the older brother has 100 more rocks than the younger brother. So that means both of them have the same amount of rocks, except, see, so I draw two equal sized bars for both the brothers because they both have the same amount of X rocks. Great, except the older brother has 100 more rocks. So they both have the same X, and then the older has 100 more. So I'll just add it like that, 100. Okay, so now we can write our equation. So on the left side, on one side of our equation, we're going to have 2x, 2x's, right? These are the same amount, 2x plus 100. So that is how they split it, right? So one got 1x, the other got 1x, and then one got 100 more. So 2x plus 100 equals 450. Okay, so we don't want to know what 2x plus 100 is. We want to know what just 1x is. So we're going to get 1x all alone. To do that, we'll subtract 100 from both sides. Okay, and 100, positive 100 minus 100 is nothing, and 450 minus 100 is 350. And so we have, on the left side, all we have left is 2x equals 350. And then we don't want to know what 2 times x is. To get rid of that 2, the 2 times x, we can divide both sides by 2. The opposite of multiply by 2 is divide by 2. So multiply by 2 divided by 2 is nothing. They cancel out. Then 350 divided by 2. Let me just do that so you guys can see it. 2 goes into 3 once. 3 minus 2 is 1. Drop the 5. 7 times 2 is 14. 50 minus 14 is 1. Drop the 10. Drop the 0. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 2 times 5 is 10. Great. And so all we're left with is x equals 175 rocks. And so let's just make sure that x is what our answer is. And so they're asking how many rocks did the younger brother get? And we see in our model, it says younger got x, and x is 175 rocks. So that is our answer. X equals 175 rocks. Everyone make sure you're writing this down. Okay, next we have 7 kilograms. And so kilo just means 1,000. So 7 kilograms is the same as 7,000 grams. Well, 7 kilograms of sausage cost $8.75. Barry bought 3 kilograms. So, yeah. First question is, how much does 3 kilograms of sausage cost? Well, I can actually write this as an equation, and I'm going to use the variable S for a sausage. So 7 kilograms of sausage cost $8.75. So if I go 7 kilograms, or 7 times S, that's what I'll do. 7 times S, because every kilogram of sausage is equal to an S. That's what I'm going to do. I'll write that here. S equals 1 kilogram of sausage. That's what S equals. So 7S, how much does it cost for 7 kilograms of sausage? S is 1 kilogram of sausage. 7 times that will tell us how much 7 kilograms of sausage is, right? So if I want to buy 1 bag of chips for $5, if I want to know how much 7 bags of chips is, I would just do the price of 1 bag of chips of $5 times 7 would be $35, right? In that example. Well, for this example, it is 7 times S equals $8.75. So I don't want to know what 7 kilograms of sausage costs. I want to know what 3 costs. And the best way to do that is I could find out what 1 cost and then find out what 3 costs after that. So let's take a look. If 7 kilograms of sausage, or 7S, 7 kilograms of sausage equals $8.75, I could find out what 1 equals by dividing both sides by 7. So I can go ahead, I'll do that in a box here. 7 goes into 8.75. 7 goes into 8 one time. 8 minus 7 is 1. Drop the 7. 7, 14, 21. That's going to go in twice. 7 times 2 is 14. 17 minus 14 is going to be 3. Drop the 5. Oh, 7 goes into 35. How many times? Anyone know that one? Ooh, 5. Great, and we have no remainder. And then, what do we do with the decimal? That one, we just put it straight up. And so, we know that S is 1 kilogram of sausage, right? 1 kilogram of sausage, or S, is equal to $1.25. But that is not what the question is asking for, so we're not done yet. The question is asking for, how much does 3 kilograms of sausage cost? So if 1 kilogram of sausage costs $1.25, I can just multiply that number by 3 to find out how much 3 costs. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 3 times 1 is 3. And then we find out where the decimal goes. So 1, 2, we have to go in twice to put the decimal in. So that would be $3.75. So 3 kilogram sausage is equal to $3.75. Good, and so we need to make sure that question's right for our next question. And that's a bit tricky because on your test you have a question like this where you need to get part A right in order to solve for part B. Okay, so we know that 3 kilograms of sausage is $3.75. Mr. Barry bought 3 kilograms of sausage. Great, so that's how much I'm paying, $3.75 for 3 kilograms of sausage. And it says, what is Barry's change from $15? So to find that out, I would just do the money I'm paying, $15, minus, this is the money I brought. This is how much I'm paying with. I'm paying with $15, minus what I pay, $3.75. Now remember, if we are adding or subtracting decimals, we need to make sure that we line the decimals up. Okay, and now we're going to do 0 minus 5, can't do that. So take from this 5, make it 4, make this 10, take from the 10, make it a 9, make it a 10. Okay, 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 7 is 2, 4 minus 3 is 1, 1 minus nothing is 1. Drop the decimal. Boom, Mr. Barry has $11.25 after that. Great. Okie dokie. Next question. This video game is so expensive, I'm not buying that video game. A limited edition video game costs 4 times as much as the normal video game. Buying the two together would cost $1,255. How much does the normal video game cost? So we're going to draw this out. I'm going to have how about I use purple? I'm going to have my normal video game price here. So I have normal video game. And then I also have the limited edition. Ooh, limited. I'll say limited edition. Okay, and they're both going to have their own bar. Okay, so the normal video game, we know that the limited edition video game costs 4 times as much. So I'm going to make a nice long bar for limited edition. Split it into 4 parts because it costs 4 times as much. And then the normal only cost 1/4 of that, right? So that's how we're going to draw it. So you see the limited addition is 4 times longer or 4 times bigger than the normal. And since every single one of these boxes are the same size, right? If the limited addition is 4 times bigger, that means it's 4 of the same size bigger. Every one of these boxes is going to get an X. Right? They're all the same, and we're trying to find out what number is in it, but they're all the same. Right? They all have the same, they're all the same size. Each box is the same size. And all together, they equal the total of buying the two together, the normal and the limited edition, costs $1,255. And so now what we need to do is convert this into an equation. And so to convert this into an equation, we know that everything on the left is equal to the total. So to write that on the left, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's. That's it. We just have 5 x's. So 5x. We have x plus x plus x plus x plus x is the same as 5 times x. So we have 5x is equal to $1,255. And we don't want to know what 5 x's are. We want to know what 1 x is. So we can just, the opposite of 5 times x is divided by 5 on both sides. 5 divided by 5 is nothing, so we have x equals, and then now we just have to find out what this is. 5 goes into 1,255, how many times? And we have to remember this is going to be a dollar amount, so just add a dollar to our whatever. Okay. 5 goes into 1, 0 times 5 is 0, 1 minus 0 is 1, drop the 2. 5 goes into 12 2 times 5 is 10. 12 minus 10 is 2. Drop the 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 minus 25 is 0. Drop the 5. 5 goes into 5 1 time. 5 minus 5 is 0. Okay. Perfect. And so we have x equals $251. Now, before we call it a day, let's make sure that this is what the question is asking for. The question is asking, how much does the normal video game cost? Oh, well, the normal video game is 1x. It's just x. So that is our answer. X equals $251. That game costs way too much money. No, who can afford that game?
I probably could, but I didn't want to.
Mr. Barry.
What? Save your question till after. We have one more question to do, okay? So let's do this last question. So we have Mr. Barry's dad is 7/9 as tall as Mr. Barry. If Mr. Barry's dad is 56 centimeters tall, how tall is Mr. Barry? So we have two people. We have Mr. Barry's dad. All right, to make it easier to understand, I'll just write dad. And then we also have Mr. Barry. Okay, so we know that Mr. Barry's dad is 56 centimeters tall. We don't know how much Mr. Barry is yet, though. So I'm going to draw Mr. Barry first, though, because if Mr. Barry's dad is 7/9 as tall as Mr. Barry, how we can imagine that is if I have a circle with 9 in it, and that's going to be a pain in the neck to draw, but I'm going to draw a circle, a pizza with 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. So if Mr. Barry is this tall, then I'm going to draw with my red how tall Mr. Barry's dad would be. And that would be 7 out of 9 tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See how 7 out of 9 are filled in. This is 7 out of 9. 7 out of 9 are filled in. So that means, that means my dad is shorter. So if I split Mr. Barry into 9 even segments, 1, 2, 3. See if I can make it like that. There we go. That's pretty all right. Let's make sure this is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. I split my bar into 9 even segments. The reason I'm splitting it into 9 is because if I'm splitting my dad into 7 out of 9, then that means I need to make sure that there's 9 total so I can like measure it. And so if I want my dad to be 7 out of 9, his is only going to go to the length of 7 of these, right? Because he's not as tall, so it's going to be like this. So that's how tall my dad is. I can split it into boxes too. And you see how each of these boxes are the same size. How are each of these boxes the same size? Well, if I know Mr. Barry's dad is 7/9 as tall as Mr. Barry must be 9 out of 9 tall. So you'll see this one that we drew for Mr. Barry is 9 out of 9. See, all of it is tall, all of it. Versus Mr. Barry's dad is 7 out of 9 tall. So 7 out of 9. See, that's what the problem says. So we just have to draw it like that. So make sure you draw it like this. Great, okay. And so the last thing we need to add before we can start solving is it shows Mr. Barry is 56 centimeters tall. So the whole thing, sorry, Mr. Barry's dad is 56 centimeters tall. So let me write that. So this bar right here, this whole thing is 56 centimeters. Great, okay. And the last thing I'm going to fill out is every single one of these boxes are the same size. How are they the same size? Well, I split Mr. Barry into 9 equal boxes. The reason I split Mr. Barry into 9 equal boxes is so that if Mr. Barry's dad is 7 out of 9 tall, if I split both of them into boxes the same size, that makes it easier for me. So Mr. Barry's 9 boxes tall. And then each one of these boxes is the same size as Mr. Barry's dad. So each of these boxes are the same as well. Okay, so this is probably the easiest way to do it. The easiest way probably is I have Mr. Barry's dad is 56 centimeters. I could find out, so that would be 7 x's, 7 of these boxes that are x tall, 7 x's, 7 of these boxes that are x tall, x plus x plus x plus x plus x plus x plus x, is equal to 56 centimeters. So I could find out what one of these boxes are, and that would help me because I know Mr. Barry is 9 out of 9 tall. So if I can find out what 1x is, I can multiply that by 9 and find out what 9x's are. So in order to find out what 1x is, in this equation, 7x equals 56, I'll divide both sides by 7. And this is actually one that you guys could probably remember. 7 goes into 56 how many times? Ooh. Anyone know that one?
8.
Great. 16, 24, 32, 48, 48, 56. Good. So 8 times. 8 times 7 is 56. So 1x is 8. Oh, 8 what? 8 centimeters. Okay, let me make sure to write that. So that's what 1x is. And remember, the last step we do is we need to make sure that our answer is correct, right? Or our answer makes sense. And so it says, how tall is Mr. Barry? Well, Mr. Barry is not 1x tall, is not 8 centimeters tall. Mr. Barry is 9 x's tall. So in order to find out what that is, we would just do 9 times how much 1x is 8 centimeters. 8 centimeters. 9 times 8 centimeters is 72 centimeters. Great, 72. So I could write that Mr. Barry is, and I am absolutely not 72 centimeters tall, but 72 centimeters tall. It's all right, because my dad's also not 56 centimeters tall. Beck's a little bit short. So, there we go, students. Great.